Hello and welcome back to my channel. Oh, welcome. Today we're gonna talk about the last Starks, or the last Sims in the Starks family. We are gonna talk about. I'm just gonna make sure where he lives, nor she lives. It's downtown. Ah. um, I'm so prepared. I promise. I'm so prepared. Yeah. Well, today we're gonna talk about the last two Starks family. And one of them is here, and it is Molly Starks with her wife, what's she called? Melody Thayer. They are actually both Thayer now, but I will tell you a little bit more about that when we get into their family. And then we're gonna talk about Diana Starks, and she is living in downtown, so I'm gonna show you her house in the end of the video. And then I think we are gonna talk about the last dreamer, and he is living here. It is Brent Dreamer we're gonna talk about. He has a little bit to do with Diana Starks, so I feel like it makes sense to bring him in now. But yeah, let's just get into the video. And here we have the Thayer family. The two women living here is Meadow Thayer. She's one of the teenage townies that I had going to college with Molly. Now Thayer before Stark. They are of course both gay because they are in a happy relationship with each other. I'm just gonna do that. um, as you can see, they have a kid, and they have a kid together. I wasn't sure how I would do the same-sex pregnancies in my hood, because this is kind of the first true same-sex couple I have, and none of them is a knowledge sim, so none of them is interested in getting abducted. So I felt like that wouldn't fit in either. And Meadow got the one to get a baby. Um, Not this one, another one, but she got the wand. So I needed to find a way where I could have these two have a baby together. Plus, I feel like both of their genes would be really cute together. So I made this system where if the parents really wants a baby in a same-sex marriage, at least with women, I think I'm gonna do it too with males. They can pay a fee of 10,000 simoleons and get impregnated like that. And 10,000 simoleons is in this hood quite a lot of money, because in this hood I have cut the the payment from this into half. I'm pretty sure. At least it's less than the original one, and I make them all pay taxes of each rounds and stuff like that. So they were not near 10,000, but I made them take a loan for the money that they needed. So they ended up getting the little baby, Abigail, their daughter, and they got her last round. As you can see, she's still a baby. Before that, they were living in this household, just those two, for some years, and were actually quite happy just being them and their many cats. The cats were their babies at that point. Molly isn't the big animal person. Just gonna do this. Molly isn't the big pet person, but Meadow really likes her cats. At least for her, it was also a good way to have kids in just some way. But now they got a baby. Um, I can show you their house right now. This house is very pink and very very bright. And white. It's like a good mixture of white and pink and stuff like that, baby pink and stuff. And that is because Molly loves pink. She has done that for her whole life since she was a teenager. and Meadow have the same. Molly likes the more deeper pink, where Meadow really likes this light pink, maybe a little purplyish. Um, so there, yeah, this is their house. I needed to build this room onto the house when they got the baby, so that's why it's a little bit of an. You can see it's an extra room that is just built in. This is the first house where I really decorated stuff. I guess it could be more than this, but I actually think it is pretty good. I at least like it. So yeah, I will tell you a little bit more of the Sims living here. So here we have Meadow. She is one of the base game townies in Pleasantview. Meadow Thayer. She is a family sim. She is very much gay. She's quite slubby. No, she is a little bit more slubby than she's neat. She's a little bit more shy, a little bit more lazy. She is playful and a little bit more nice. Her bio here says Meadow moved to Pleasantview as a young teen and have been living for herself for so long. So when she found Molly, it was life changing. Luckily, Molly was as interested in her as she was in Molly. She looks forward to see how life will form. And life have formed really well. They had a fling already in the teen years, and when they went to college together, that just formed and went further on beyond. They even got married and got their first fur babies. In her memories, we will see that she was a teen for a long time before she met Molly, but Molly was her first kiss. And at that point, I had seen Meadow so many times, and I always felt like Meadow was so pretty. And when I found out that she was gay, I was so happy, and I really wanted her to meet some of my gay Sims, and I think I had two at that point. But Molly was the one that really fell for that met Mello first and really felt for her from the beginning. As you can see, they have three bolts. They really like each other. So yeah, Molly was her first kiss, her first love, her first made out, and all this happened in college. They moved out together after graduating, and they moved into a house together. There they had their first woohoo. They got engaged and actually just enjoyed life together before they got married. So yeah, they really had a good time together, and honestly, it's just them two. Of course, they know other people, but they just enjoy being them. She had her first kid, Tinny. Oh, not kid, kitten, Tinny. And when Tinny got older, I made her have babies with Sweet. Uh, oh no, delete that. I'm sorry. Tinny was her first kitten, who was a kitten born from Sweets, who is a stray cat in the town. Um, and they quickly got to be really good friends, and Molly really loves her kitten. Shortly after, all the other kittens moved in. This is some cats I found. I don't remember, but I just saw them and were like, they are so damn cute, so I need them all. I gave them names for. I don't know why they kept the last name, just ignore the last name. But I gave them name from Death Note. So Misa and Light and L. I feel like Death Note is such a fun anime slash manga. So I really like the names for the three kittens. So yeah, they are here now. Last round, they took the loan for the 10,000, and this is the proof of that. As you can see, they already paid a lot of the money back. They had some money already before that, so they only took a loan for what they were missing. And shortly after, they got the kid. Meadow was the one being the pregnant one, and I think now that they really want one more, and they already paid so much back, I'm probably gonna let them have one more kid, where Molly can be the barrier of that kid. So yeah, that's I guess what I can tell you about Meadow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just really like how she looks. But yeah, let's look a little bit on Molly. So this is Molly, and Molly is from the Starks family. Oh, I'm just gonna put her clothes on. And I always really liked how she looks. She is also very much gay. She's only into women. Um, she is the oldest daughter of the Starks family. She has her big brother Adam, and then her two little sisters Diana and Willow. Um, and you can see she is also a family sim. She has not always been a family sim. I'm pretty sure she was a knowledge sim before they went to college. Yes, she was. But now she is family as aspiration, and secondary aspiration is knowledge. Um, as you can see here, she is really, really neat. She's shy, she's lazy, and she's serious, but she's really nice. And in her bio, it says Molly had for so long just had focus on studying and learning. So when Meadow came into her life, she wasn't sure what to do. She never even thought of what gender she liked, but apparently it was woman, and here was the perfect woman for her. Meadow got Molly to open her eyes for how fantastic it can be to have a family, and she actually looks forward to have their own family. But how will that even be possible? It was possible with taking a big loan and that way get pregnant. Molly, the thing is, with her family, there was so much drama, so she never felt like when she was a teenager that the whole drama thing with family that it wasn't worth it. Family just wasn't worth it. And she never really found anyone to be really attractive or anyone. She was just focusing on school and learning stuff. But then she met Mello, and Meadow kind of just changed everything really. Um, they of course she was really good friends with Lily Burb at that time, but they didn't really had a crush or anything. I'm pretty sure that Lily is bisexual, but I'm not completely sure. But at least they were good friends. Um, but that was kind of it, honestly. She just focused on studying and being a good student and being more clever and learning new stuff. Because the family things was just always so dramatic. There was more silence in the family when Adam went to college. It was like all the fighting stopped, all the arguments stopped, because both her and Diana had held their heads low and just done what they needed to do to be good kids. It was first that faithful day where Willow confronted their mom about Adam, that everything broke loose again. But at that point, Mello already moved out because she went to college, where she, of course, were with Meadow, and the rest of the story we kind of know. Um, they woohooed a lot, and then they got married and engaged, and yada yada yada. You know the whole drill. They had a family reunion, and that was where the whole drama started up again. Um, and I guess that's the point where she was like, nope, I'm just not gonna have anything to do with my family. It's too hard, it's too much for her. So I don't even think that the family knows about the baby yet. And if they're gonna know, of course, Diana is gonna know because Diana and Mello always had a good friendship to each other. but I'm not completely sure that Mello is gonna tell Adam. Um, like she has a fine relationship with her family, but like I just don't think she wanna go into the drama. She has a better relationship with her mom than her dad, actually, but that was mostly because in her head, Adam not doing his homework and not doing what he needed to do for in her head it was so simple, just do your homework, just do your chores and everything would be good. So what is the problem? So that Adam didn't want to do that, she kind of was on her mom's side on him like needing to step up. um she wasn't necessarily happy with all the fighting, but she kind of understood it from her mom's side. Diana always stayed out of it. I don't think Diana ever chose side. And she was kind of tired of Jared never intervening or doing anything. He kind of just left Jane to be the harsh parent. And she moved out so early that she never really got to know Willow much. And as you can see, she hadn't had the big interest to actually learn to get to know her little sister. So yeah, that is Molly. And we can just go over to their little child, Abigail, that got born last round. We of course don't know a lot about her, but I'm quite interested to see how she's gonna be. And then I'm happy to see that they want another kid because I feel like they should have another kid. They are not gonna have the space, but that's the thing we're gonna take when we get to that point. So yeah, that was the Thayer family. So this is the last fully Stark household. Why I'm zoomed in here is because the household is living in the flop house. This is a Diana Starks. As you can see, she really wants to get married, but she recently said no to that. And now we're gonna get her side of the story more in full. I'm just gonna wake her up so we can look at her a little bit better. My suspicion about Diana being pregnant was true. This kind of shows how long ago it was I played this last because I didn't even remember. But yeah, here we have Diana, how she looks now in her pregnant clothes. She is a fortune sim. She is super neat and she's really outgoing. She is active. She's a little bit more serious and a little bit more grouchy. In Diana's bio, it says Diana was so excited when she finally got away from home, away from the poor life, family fighting, and loneliness. After college, Diane is on her way to the rich, luxurious life. She just needs to find that man with the money. And she have one in her eyes, but there is also the dreamer guy. So, this was written before the whole marriage thing with Tim, because at that point she had him in her view. But she also really liked Brent Dreamer, and she has liked Brent Dreamer for such a long time, such a long time. And I have this feeling that they might be a good couple because I feel like they could fit really good together. Um, the personalities and the way they are together, it just fits so much better. But Brent doesn't really have much money, if any. So the fortune choice would of course be Tim. So let's look into her memories. Her teen years was, yeah, well, like everyone else's. Um, she potty trained Willow, apparently. She was the middle child in her family, the middle sister, if you can say it so. She is pretty good friends with Molly. She is also pretty good friends with Willow. Adam and her never really found a good friendship, because when the whole thing with Adam happened, she locked herself in, and we're like, nope, I'm not gonna go into that drama. She never chose side, so that's also the reason she has a fine relationship with both her dad and her mom. And when Willow got born, she was like, okay, I can focus my time here and not focus on the rest of the family fighting. Um, Her first love was Brent, but that first happened in college. They had their first kiss together, and everything was quite good. Um, so after college, she moved into the flop house where she is living now, and shortly after that, um, she met Tim. They had their first kisses, and they quickly grew good friends, and they even woohooed and went on a date, and everything was really good. Um, just until he asked her about the marrying thing. And it kind of came out of nowhere. At this point, she still liked Brent a lot and felt like he could be a good partner for her, but she wasn't sure that was the way she wanted to go, because he didn't have a lot of money, and he had ties to the Broke family, and there's just something about the Broke name that maybe not what was the best. She herself is coming from quite a poor family, so she wasn't sure if that was what she wanted to do. So when she finally met a really rich sim and even a goth, she was like, "Oh, that's so interesting, and that could be really nice." And when he told her about his plan, well, I think he started telling her about his brother's plan, and was like, "Well, we should do the same." Um, I feel like in the beginning she was like, "Oh, well, I can do that. We can find a way to make that work good." And she loved him by the way at that point, so why not? But when the day came, she left him by the altar. She couldn't go through with it. Something in her back had said that Brent was still out there, and Brent was maybe still the person for her. Um, and Tim, the whole plan with the marriage just for her seemed a little bit weird, um, because she wanted to be in a marriage with love, like consensual, like or no, not consensual, with love from both side, and she wasn't sure that she would have feeling good about him being married with her, but we being with a lot of other girls. That wasn't really what she wanted in life. Um, so she kind of just lived on, worked a lot, but then, as we know, she got asked on a date by Tim, and he told her about the whole marriage thing and the whole why it happened like it happened, and he apologized, and she apologized to him and told him how she felt about the whole thing and why she couldn't go through with it in the end. So they ended up being good friends again, and she even fell in love strongly for him again. Not that she really fell out of that love, but she fell in love with him again. And then she stayed that night, and he told her about his concerns about who his real dad was, and all that. And she stayed the night because she felt like she needed to be with him and support him. In in the end, Diana is, even though she's grouchy, she is a really nice person in that sense that she's gonna be, if she likes you, she's gonna be there for you. Um, and I was thinking that Tim maybe never would get a child, but as you can see, this is not her outfit. This is not what she normally have on. If we turn this a little bit, we can see there is a fine little bump. So yes, Diane is for sure gonna have a baby, and for it can only be Tim's. I'm pretty sure at this point she haven't been with Brent for a good amount of time. So yeah, he is gonna get that baby, and where she's living now, it's not gonna be good for a baby. So I'm pretty sure that she is gonna talk with Tim and say, you need to help me here. You got me pregnant, so you need to help me here. If they're gonna marry or how they're gonna figure it out, I don't know. Maybe he's gonna send her some money, but I'm sure they're gonna find out together. Yeah, so that was Diana Stark. I think the next family that would make sense to tell you a little bit about is the Dreamer family with Brent. He is actually not the next on my list in my spreadsheet, but it would just make more sense to get his side of the story now that we have talked about Diane so much. This is the apartment he is living in. It's just the Pleasantview apartment condos he's living in. So yeah, let's look a bit closer. So here we have Brent. He is the son of Brandy and Darren Dreamer. He had a twin sister called Bria. As we know, she died not too long ago. And this is him. He is a popularity sim. He is more on the neat side. He is outgoing. He's in the middle of lazy and active. He is playful and very nice. His bio says, and I'm pretty sure this bio is a little bit outdated because I haven't played him after Bria died. Brent is happy to have moved out. His teen girlfriend seemed to be over him, but a girl he met in college shows to be more fun and happy. And happiness. Though she is often out, and he has heard something about her and one of the goth guys. Oh well, he will figure it out. As long as his twins seem to be more happy, and happy, life is going better, right? So this is the sentence that made me feel like I haven't played him after Bria died. I guess with telling you a little bit about him, I should also tell you a little bit more about Bria, because in their teen years together, they were close always. He was the more normal child. He was good at school and he had a good relationship with his whole family. And Bria was more the black sheep in the family. But those two, they always kept strongly together and were happy to have each other. He Though he always felt like he needed to be the supportive man for Bria, because Bria had some struggles in life with both boys, but also with eating. She had a struggle with how she should look, how she should act. She felt like she missed a lot of control, and that control she got through eating and how she looked. That is why she had this really strong look. And it's sad that she died when she finally found hope in life and finally found peace and happiness, because things were going really good after she found out after she married Ivan. And Brent saw how happy Bria was when she got married. Um, and even already before she got married, when she got her first kid, Brent saw that she was really happy. So Brent was sure that she was going the right way. Sadly, she died now. She died, as you know, in last round. And that is also the last memory he has, or the newest memory. But let's look a little bit more into his memories. Because he had a teenage life. His first kiss was Gia, and that is the first girlfriend he was talking about in the bio. He fell in love with her, and they even had their first woohoo. He felt like, because his focus on Bria was so big, and he just wanted to make sure that his sister, for once, survived, but also maybe had some happiness and some good times with, like, she had so many broken hearts with boys that she flirted with, but then just turned their back to her immediately and wanted to do other stuff. So she never really found love in her teenage years. And he tried to be the big support system that she needed, so she wouldn't feel alone. So in the middle of all that, he somehow found the way to be with Gia, but I'm sure it was quite stressful for him. They, of course, moved into college together. I wonder where that memory is. Yeah, here it is. He moved into college, and that was at the same time as with Bria. At college, he met Diana. And that is why I wanted to talk about Brent now, because in college he met Diana. Gia had went to college the year, like the semester before, so they hadn't been together for a couple of years at that point. So he wasn't sure that Gia was even interested in him anymore. So when he met Diana and they had some kisses and some flirts, he was actually getting quite happy with her, and he really liked her at that point. He of course made sure that Bria would be okay. Um, but his focus was actually pretty much on Diane. It looks like he actually kissed Gia in the middle of the of it all, but at this point, I feel like his focus was mostly on Diana. After college, he moved out and he moved into the flop house, the cheap apartments, where he started up being a little bit more with Gia because Diana seemed to have something with the goth guy Tim, and he didn't want to intervene in that. He didn't want to stop Diana. He was like, maybe that was just a college flirt, and that's fine. At this point, he had lived a little bit with his sister, but she wanted to have her own place, and she had the money, and he had the money to have his own place, so it fit really well for both of them to just have their own. They didn't want to move back into the Dreamer house because of they wanted to let Billy have that house when he was the one living in it, anyways. So let's see. Oh yeah, okay. So because of Diana being have her attention on Tim, um, Brent felt like he just would go for Gia instead. And as you can see in the family tree, he actually have a daughter with her. I'm not sure that he knew that she were pregnant at that time, and he didn't know that she already had a kid with another boy. Um, I feel like Brent and Gia has all the way through been so bad at communicating. So them not knowing what each other actually wanted was a big problem in their relationship. And when he finally asked her to marry, I feel like Gia had her mind on Omar at that point, because she had her daughter with Omar. So I feel like she actually at that point in that engagement, denial of engagement, she told him that she was going to go another way, but thank you. And he accepted that, so the date was quite well. But they just had what can you say, a last woohoo together. And this last woohoo ended up being a kid. I am not sure that he knows, because at this time he just moved into this apartment and is just working. He hasn't met Gia after this date, so I don't think he has even seen that she was pregnant. And after his last promotion, everything kind of just went through hell pretty much. Um, his dear sister was, of course, married, and he was at the wedding, and he was really happy with who she married, and it seemed so good. So he was surprised that she died. And that is kind of the last thing that has happened. So I feel like at the moment right now, he is really sad. And that is also the reason that he didn't react when Diana didn't get married, anyways. I'm sure he heard about Diana getting married to one of the Goth boys, and he probably thought that, well, that is her way, that was what she wanted to do. But after, so he went with Gia, of course, tried to do that, and that didn't work out. And I feel like he never really followed up on what actually happened with Diana. And now that his sister just suddenly died, I don't think he thinks of on either Gia or Diana. I think his mind is completely on his sister, and I think in this round he's probably gonna visit the Goth cemetery that Bria is, of course, gonna be put to rest on because she died as a Goth. So yeah, that is sadly Brent's story. His story was very much intertwined with his twin, and her death has been a lot harsher than many others, sadly. I hope in the future he will let it go. I'm sure Bria want him to let go. So now he just needs to find out who, if any of these two, he wanna be with, or if it should be a complete another one. Maybe the sloppy, the sloppy town is in. I don't know, but I'm sure he's gonna find something at some point. But right now, he's focused on him remembering his sister and going into that grief. So yeah, that is Brent Dreamer. And that was the ending of this video. As I promised in the beginning, I will show you where Diana Stark lives, and she is living in this slop house down here. As you can see, she's right here. Um, yeah, but I think that was everything for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!